morning to my lecturer. Today I am going to give an informative speech outline to inform my audience about the importance of sleep, how to get good enough sleep. I am going to discuss the following areas of importance of sleep: learning and memory, making decision and the long-term consequences of lack of sleep, ways to get a good night's sleep and steps to take if you didn't get enough sleep. How many of you here got at least 8 hours of sleep last night? This is because finding enough time to sleep and getting good quality sleep is getting harder and harder as our society expects more from us. Most of us here treat sleeping as a luxury rather than a priority. I know I do. College students are among the most sleep deprived people in the country. According to the 2021 study, only 11% of college students get good quality sleep. Being student at Octane, it means that we have a lot going on in our lives other than school and don't usually make sleeping as our number one priority. The thesis statement I'm going to discuss is I'm going to talk about why sleeping is important, how to get good quality sleep if you didn't get a good night's sleep, how can you face it next day. Sleep is important for many reasons, but I'm going to talk about the one of the important to us as a student. Not sleeping can affect our bodies both in the short term and long term. Getting a good quality sleep allows us to learn new information and remember previously learned information. The amount and the quality of sleeps helps learning and memory in two ways. First, a person who tired cannot pay attention and therefore cannot learn well. Second, sleep itself puts information into our long-term memory. According to the Harish Health System sleep specialist, losing sleep during an all-nighter study session will actually make it harder to remember the information the next morning when you are taking exam. The lack of sleep not only has short term consequences like poor judgmental or not being able to retain information, but it also can lead long term problems like obesity, heart disease, depression, and more. While we are sleeping, our body releases different kinds of hormones that regulate our appetite, metabolism, and even blood pressure. Those hormones tell our body that you don't need to eat right now or to slow down the blood pressure because we are sleeping. So, without sleep, we don't need to have the right balance of these hormones, which can cause us to eat more than we need to leading to obesity or diabetes. So now I have talked about why sleep is important. Now I'm going to tell you how to get good quality sleep without giving up too much in our lives. Getting a better night's sleep involves keeping your sleeping patterns the same, what you are being exposed to right before you go to bed, and exercising. One obvious way to get good quality sleep is to wake up at the same time every day and to go to the bed at the same time every day. But that may not always be possible. So, another thing you can do is to sleep the same amount of weekends as you do during the week. You may think sleeping until 2 p.m. in the afternoon on Sunday is making up for the loss of sleep over the week, but it's actually no. Not keeping consistent sleep will just do that opposite and make you more tired. Exposure from your cell phone screen or laptop stop the brain from releasing the hormone melatonin, which helps you to sleep. A survey done by the National Sleep Foundation found that 95% of Americans use electronics within the hour before bed. The study also showed that it can reduce the quality of sleep. So, if you stare at your cell phones right before bed, it will take longer to actually fall asleep than if you didn't. Exercise also help in getting a good night's sleep, but it's best to complete your workout a couple hours before you go to bed. Otherwise, exercising right before you go to bed can make you too energized. Research shows listening to soothing music or reading a book before bed will help you sleep better. And as college student, we have so many boring textbooks lying around you. Could just start reading your math book and I'm sure you will fall asleep in no time. Exposure from your cell phone screen or laptop stop the brain from releasing the hormone melatonin, which helps you to sleep. A survey done by the National Sleep Foundation found that 95% of Americans use electronics within the hour before bed. The study also showed that it can reduce the quality of sleep. So, if you stare at your cell phones right before bed, it will take longer to actually fall asleep than if you didn't. Exercise also help in getting a good night's sleep, but it's best to complete your workout a couple hours before you go to bed. Otherwise, exercising right before you go to bed can make you too energized. Research shows listening to soothing music or reading a book before bed will help you sleep better. And as college student, we have so many boring textbooks lying around you. Could just start reading your math book and I'm sure you will fall asleep in no time. Finally, I'm going to talk about what to do in case where you had to stay up all night or just didn't sleep well. Getting through an all night study session is sometimes not as hard as getting through the next day once the adrenaline wears off the sun comes out. It's hard to remain focused, feel alert, and appear presentable. You can take some of the following steps to avoid getting in trouble from dozing off in class and feel more awake. Water will be your best friend. Not only will drinking water make you feel awake, but it also help you look it. This is a picture of a woman who tripled her water intake for 4 weeks, and as you can see, she looks much more fresh than before. You can drink coffee or other caffeinated drinks or can take caffeine pills, but then you should expect a crash. This is because caffeine will cover up the sleepiness, but the sleepiness will just keep building up. Taking a short nap between 10 to 20 minutes can really help you give a boost, but napping for longer, like 40 to 45 minutes, can make you feel groggy. Eating more protein rather than carbs and junk food will also re energize you. Protein has tyrosine in it, which is an amino acid that will stimulate more electrical signals in the brain and will help you to think quicker and faster. A couple more little things you can do is placing cold spoon under your eyes, splashing cold water on your face, and using eye drops to get rid of redness.